Hello, and welcome to our podcast. You are the miracle. I am Cheyenne Kramer. This is my better half.
Donald Kramer. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great evening like we are.
Absolutely. And this week we want to share some thoughts with you that may or may not have entered into your mind before. We're calling this one, You Are the Miracle That Can Change It All. Sounds pretty powerful, don't you think?
Oh, it's very powerful.
In fact, didn't we hear some things about that in church this morning?
Yes, we did.
It is all good, to say the least. So let's just kind of jump right into this, because I want to start by having you share just a little bit of your story that has led us to what we're up to now. So would you be so kind as to share just a little bit about what were you doing in 2012?
In 2012, I had a great notion. I thought I could help a lot of people. And so I decided to run for governor of North Carolina as an independent candidate. I didn't want to be on either party because I knew each party had some good stuff as well as some bad stuff. And I wanted to grab the good stuff from both and put it together. So I went out and I did some campaigning, but lo and behold, I cannot figure out why the media did not want to talk to me or interview me. They didn't want to do anything. I just can't figure that out. Why?
Well, we have a lot of thoughts about that these days. But the fact of the matter is that we really, as a society, we really have all been taught that we need to go and work in the political system to try to create change. How did that work for us?
That didn't work very well. Like I say, we were kind of, they avoided us at all costs.
Yes, they did.
They didn't want to hear about us. They didn't want to see us on TV, radio, or anything like that. It was like they turned their back on us. They didn't want to hear any new ideas.
They basically stopped on you.
Yeah, let's put it that way. I'm trying to be nice. The thing is, I was really running to help people. I did not see the government at the time in our state trying to help people. They did a lot of talking and some band-aid, but it seemed like they actually made things worse.
It's true.
And people were suffering as they are today.
And I think they're suffering even more today.
They are suffering more today. So the thing is, someone has to probably not work inside their so-called system. They will have to work outside of the system because I believe they want to squash any new ideas that could be helpful to the people.
Yeah, that is it. And, the other part of this, because it was about 4 years after your run for governor that we took that amazing trip up to Washington, D.C. with all those women, right?
Yes, I chauffeured about 12 women in a van. I was the only guy driving.
You were.
And I have to admit, there was no silence in the back of the van.
This is true. But the thing that was interesting about that event, we gave all these women a platform to be able to speak in Washington, D.C., but it was not about going and marching and begging the politicians to make a difference. That wasn't our message at all, was it?
No. And the beautiful part about it, these women from different backgrounds had a lot of great ideas. They all wanted to help our people.
And they were in action on the ideas.
They were.
They weren't just standing and flapping their trap and never doing anything. They were out in the streets making a difference with our youth, with the homeless populations, with so many different people. It was just truly amazing. And, that's what we keep trying to help people understand when we're talking about you are the miracle that we're waiting for, is because sitting around begging politicians to change things, how's that working for us?
It's not working.
It's not working.
And everybody out here has part of the puzzle. They have something that is very useful, their experience, their knowledge.
It's true.
We need to add that to ours. You need to join us together. Get us all together. We can do a lot together. We can help a lot of people that are hurting today. It's
true.
awful.
It's
awful.
True.
I mean, how many people are living on the side of the streets in the cold?
In the cold.
And
even if it's not cold, I mean, good Lord, how many people have we seen online of people in San Francisco just tents and tents and tents
just not
all
those,
over the place.
Other cities, all major cities have people living in cardboard boxes, raggedy old sleeping bags, anything they can do to keep them warm and comfortable, even though their lives are in danger all the time on the streets.
That's true. That's true. And, you know, we knew back, 2012, 2016, we knew then that we had to start thinking about, talking about, and taking action in a different direction. And that's why we're on the road, because we're out here to find the people who are willing to take action. And I have to share with you about a documentary that I was able to view this summer. This has been a very interesting year for us, and we've gotten further and further into the idea of how do we get to building new communities where people actually are able to experience better health, more prosperity, and peace. And so this documentary that I saw this year was, for me, the answer that I was looking for. It just totally blew my mind when I watched this. And unfortunately, Don hasn't had the opportunity to see it. I may see if I can arrange that for him. But I want you guys to hear about this, because this is a story. It's a true story. It happened somewhere around 2001, 2002, somewhere in that area. This movie actually came out in 2010. And it basically is the story of how a town had been totally taken over by drug dealers. And the youth of the town were just falling apart. They were all becoming drug addicted. They were not living life the way our young people should. And it wasn't until, the mayor's kid and one of the judge's kids all of a sudden got addicted that they started to think they needed to do something. And it was only because there was somebody who came into town and brought together a group of churches and said, there's only one way to take this town back. And it's not by going and begging politicians, because a lot of the politicians in that town were corrupt. They were taking drug money. And so that wasn't going to work for them. They said there's only one way to take the town back. And that way to take it back was to basically invite the creator into the town and ask for help. And, this tells just a little bit about it. It was Clay County, Kentucky, where all of this happened. And, there was lots and lots of feuds, poverty, corruption, epic drug abuse, all this going on in the early 2000s. And, families were leaving left and right. Those who stayed behind fought a running battle with hopelessness as illicit drugs threatened to consume an entire generation. And then it happened. As a desperate band of believers cried, "Enough!" the presence of God descended on the town of Manchester and transformed it into the city of hope. Hear that. Please hear that. You've got to understand what we're talking about is the city of hope after being completely run by the drug dealers. Now, there is one other thing that has come to our attention recently. And this is just an example of where we think something similar could happen. Ideally, if you're watching this video, I don't care if you're watching it live or if you're watching the recording later, if you know of a group of people or a church that has a cause, has a mission, and they're ready to unite and ask God to come in and help solve the problem, reach out to us. We want to know about it, because this is what we've got to have right now.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So right now, I'm just going to use this as an example, because I'm hoping to find a few churches and beyond who are interested in this as an example. We have a friend, his name is Keith McNally, and he is planning on hiking the Appalachian Trail. Isn't that interesting? That movie was called An Appalachian Dawn.
Right, Dawn.
And so now
Dawn.
he's going to hike the Appalachian Trail. And his mission is all about suicide prevention. So once again, Appalachian Dawn was about losing a lot of our young people to the drug cartels. And now we're losing a lot of our young people, a lot of older people too, but a lot of our youth are severely depressed. Far too many of them have become suicidal. And I truly believe, after watching Appalachian Dawn, I believe with all my heart and soul that we should be able to bring groups of people together in towns and cities across this country, and especially through the churches. The churches have got to become more active in our communities with prayer and bringing groups of people. We've seen prayer vigils happen in the past. We've seen revivals happen in the past. And I believe that more good comes out of doing those things, out of getting people together and inviting God back into our city and town, than any political march that you could ever see. And that's what happened in Appalachian Dawn, and that's what can happen now. And we absolutely are we're looking for those churches, those groups, those people that are willing to come together around it. And yes, Cynthia, thanks for being here tonight. Suicide is real. It's everyone's problem. And if we just keep waiting for politicians to solve these problems, like we said, how's that working for us?
It doesn't work.
So that's why we say you're the miracle that can create the change, that can change it all, by finding those groups of people, by finding churches or groups of churches that are willing to come together and say, God, we are asking you to come into this city, into this town, show us how to take our children back, show us how to get our youth back on a positive path, so that we're not having such serious depression and serious problems with suicide all over the country. Just stop it with it sitting and waiting for politicians. Stop it with sitting and waiting for Jesus to appear. He said, follow me. He didn't say, wait for me. I think that is the biggest catastrophe we've got in the country right now.
Thing about it, there's a lot of people sitting on their hands waiting for Jesus to come back. They know they can do, and Jesus said this, whatever he did, they can do.
He said it.
And more.
And more. Absolutely. We heard about that in church this morning, didn't we? About all the different gifts of the Spirit that are bestowed upon us if we ask. And that is one of the things, just asking for the wisdom. Just saying, okay, Holy Spirit, we are asking for the wisdom to come into this area and show us how to take back our generation and stop losing so many people to suicide and depression. It's up to us, folks. You are the miracle that can change it all. We are the miracle that can change it all. That's why we're out here every week trying to help people understand that, we're not riding around in a motorhome just for joyriding.
No. We are here to help. We need your help.
We do.
We need you to join us in this crusade.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, that's the message that we wanted to share with you guys tonight. And again, if there's anything about this that resonates with you, please like it. Please comment on it. Please share it with other people. And above all, two questions, two things we're asking for your help with. One is, if you know of a group of people who are willing to unite and ask God to come in and help solve a specific problem, we want to know where those people are. We want to know who they are. We want to help to bring that effort together. The second piece is, if you know of any churches anywhere that are interested in taking on a leadership role to help to overcome the suicides that are happening in, especially with our youth, but across the board, because I'm going to tell you, I've had some serious bouts with depression in my life. And I can tell you that a huge thing that made a big difference for me was just being able to get that spiritual connection going. That took away a lot of loneliness. That took away a lot of, just feeling hopeless. And that's why I really believe the churches need to get up and get moving and help in this direction. So keep us in mind, give us any information you can under this video, and just let us know, is suicide prevention something that you're willing to get involved with, and help us to identify churches that will come together and ask the Creator to come in and help solve this problem. Because I promise you, you are the miracle that can change it all. But it takes more than one or two of us. We have to come together. And if you haven't seen this documentary of Appalachian Dawn, I keep calling it Dream, I don't know why, and Appalachian Dawn, please consider getting a hold of this. Now I'm on Walking the Path. Walking the Path is the folks that we're getting ready to work with and help, so that they can be helping with the suicide prevention. But Appalachian Dawn, here it is. This is an incredible, incredible documentary, and it's worth watching, because I'm telling you, when you see how all these churches came together, and we're talking about 4,000 people in the streets praying together and asking God to help them take their town back. It took a little while, it took a little doing, but a piece at a time, it became obvious that the Creator was stepping in and helping to make all of these things happen. Never doubt it, folks. You are the miracle. You are the miracle that we are waiting for. And we just want to hear from you. Again, please, if there's anything in this video that resonates with you, like it, comment on it, share it with other people, and let us know. Raise your hand and let us know if you can imagine yourself coming together with other people and just saying, okay, God, show us the way. We're going to take this country back. You have any final thoughts as we come through Veterans Day weekend, my dear?
Yes. I like to thank all the veterans out there. Mm-hmm. And don't forget the people that are still on duty protecting this country. Absolutely. Serving us.
Absolutely. And remember that this country was established with the idea that it was supposed to be ruled by our Creator. It's in the Declaration of Independence. Yes. So, stop thinking that all the politicians have all the answers. It's the Creator that does. And we can tell from his personal experiences working in the political system, there's far too many things in that system that have gone wrong that are not solving our problems. It can be done with us. It can be done asking for the Creator to help, and we need you. Have an awesome week, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you again next Sunday evening on You Are the Miracle.
Thank you for dropping by.
Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.